Council members, do you wish to speak to the item? Council member Laster.
Yes, ma'am, I do wish to speak to this item, and ultimately I'd like to call for a roll call when we get to the opportunity to vote. Mayor, if you would indulge me just for a moment, I'll try to be as brief as possible. I want to thank you today for your courage and your vision on working in this community for the development of this ordinance. I know that this is something you have been in the heart of for very many years, and I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for inviting me to be a part of the team that's helped to draft and review this matter. It's given me an opportunity to visit with people from not only this city but from all over the United States, and I am particularly grateful. I want to thank my colleague, Councilmember Cohen, for being the lead on this ordinance. I can't imagine a more passionate, articulate advocate for the passage of this ordinance, and I am profoundly grateful. I want to thank the Greater Houston Partnership for their assistance in moving this item forward. Some of you saw today's headline and the opinion by Mr. Harvey, Values We Should All Cherish. And he says, we support this ordinance because it reflects the values of openness, diversity, and equality that we in the business community, and I believe all the people of Houston, hold dear. For those of you who know the history of Houston, as we've approached any civil rights issue, we've rolled up our sleeves. The business community has come together with the activist community, and they've just made it happen. That's what makes Houston uniquely different. And that is something we can teach the rest of this country. I'm proud of all the constituency groups, for and against, that have spoken. I'm proud of all the participants today and the last several weeks that have voiced their concerns, and more importantly, for their respect for one another and for their civility. I think, Mayor, we can also teach the country about something about that. You know, we've heard much about this ordinance and what it will do and what it won't do, but at the end of the day, the draft of this ordinance is designed to be a comprehensive ordinance that protects as many people as possible, and let me read off those categories. It protects people on the basis of sex, race, color, ethnicity, national origin, age, familial status, military status, religion, disability, sexual orientation, genetic information, genetic identity, or pregnancy. That's 14 categories.
How about gender identity? I'm sorry,
I'm sorry, what did I say? Gender identity, gender information, or pregnancy. That's 14 categories. Some folks have asked me as a district council member, how can you represent or how do you justify voting for a particular ordinance like this? Well, let me tell you about District J. 89% of the population of our community, 89%, is either Latino, Hispanic, African American, Black, Asian, or other. This ordinance protects those people. We're an international population that hail from every corner of the world. You've heard me brag about that, with over 60 language groups. We are clearly a place that people call home and choose to call home. This ordinance protects those people. As such, we're also a diverse worshiping community. We're not only just Christian, but we are Muslim, we are Buddhist, we are Sikh and Jain and Hindu and Taoist and Confucian, and yes, Reverend, we're even Zoroastrian, of all things. This ordinance protects all of those people, and I could go on and on and on. During the multiple public sessions and by calls of email and phones, the only opposition we have been presented with in this ordinance has been from those who seek to exclude people from the protections of the ordinance. And those in particular are members of the LGBT community, and that is greatly troublesome. Can you imagine any of us, or can you imagine any constituency advocating that we exclude race, or color or ethnicity, that we exclude age, or that we exclude sex, or that we even exclude the religious protection. Of course not. But I'm grateful for the voices. Motion to extend time?
It doesn't work that way on this part. You're doing a great job.
I didn't realize there was a time limit, Mayor.
Yes, sir, there is. I can put you back in the queue.
Please, ma'am.
Councilmember Laster?
Mayor, I apologize for going on a little too long. I'll finish it up pretty quickly. As I left off, I noted that the only opposition that has been voiced to this ordinance has called for the exclusion of a community, and that's the LGBT community. And I would like to say that I am appreciative and grateful for the voice of opposition for two reasons. Number one, it's important that their voices be heard in this process. And I'm glad that they could take advantage of that chance and that opportunity. But I'm more importantly grateful because I think that voice and those concerns that were voiced uniquely present the best evidence and the most articulate argument for including the LGBT community under the protections of this ordinance. Colleagues, I want to say how much I respect each and every one of you, and I enjoy very much working with each and every one of you. And I know that some of you will not be able to join us on this vote today. And while I may disagree, I will respect you, and I will respect your decision. But I hope that those that cannot vote on this ordinance today will join with those that do, and that in the days that come forward, move this city forward to make the ordinance work for everybody, to work against any kinds of referendums or other kinds of efforts to overturn this ordinance, and to stand united for the best that is in Houston. I'm so proud, Mayor, to be here today to be able to vote for this ordinance because I believe it's good for business, I believe it's good for District J, and I believe it's good for Houston and our future, and I hope that each and every one of you will support it. God bless.